My favorite.
Oh, I'm back. I gotta read chat. Hold on, I'm behind.
This guy's kind of a bird.
Fine, but Gale Force Punch is
What he
worth
wants
that.
to
Yeah.
be.
This guy's
He's got like wings and stuff.
It's kind of a bird.
I like saying catch these hands with this guy.
Shoji. Wait, who built Shoji?
All
I
8
guess
of my
he's
hands.
kind of a bird.
Team Mage's playing
it's
Shoji now?
Legendary.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I think
super
Shoji's
sneaky, but I'm gonna
sweet.
do it.
I think Shoji
Give
is like
him
one of the
to
characters
me.
that can
Let's go.
transform into Ayama.
All right. I'll play this.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Think all
yeah,
of
I mean,
these
that makes
are
a good
actually
point.
Guaranteed.
Sure.
I mean, you could. So as we're kind of already seeing, right? So like the
I'm gonna
life
do this
symbol
guy
for him is
and
like
draw
I
one
think his
picture,
bread
and
and
then
butter,
another one.
especially for right now. Like you said, like he doesn't have one of those symbols. As we saw with the Aizawa deck earlier today, the all symbol's very niche and it does its one thing. And I think the worst part about this specific character is like if you were gonna play that similar kind of like staff strike thing and under all, you can just do it under life.
Right.
And being able to lose 6 vitality to make sure you have staff strike this turn feels pretty good.
Yeah, man. We'll just like let it rock.
But it's funny you say that because there is definitely a naval laser charge in the discard pile already. Which is definitely like an option you can do for that deck. We also have the tongue smack, which is a character committed, which feels so good because your character does commit for an ability.
Yo.
Lose 0, pick up a foundation, nutty block. I think is really the big thing here. Oh, here we are. We're seeing the Supreme
Interference.
Judge interference.
They're yelling at you for being in his discard pile.
I'm talking about the deck. Oh, because I can't. Oh, I could. You can't use his
Correct.
effect. I'm
Correct.
sorry.
Funny.
You sure will. I'm going to.
Man, it was so awesome listening to you and Bromley talk that last match. That was such a blast. I like literally didn't do anything.
See that right there? That's where you eat on stream.
Yeah. Dude, we pounded so many goldfish and sunflower seeds. It was crazy.
So okay, here we go. Here's the Shoji Supreme, right? The reverse throw in hand. We also have the 0 gravity lift and the meteor shower in hand. So going forward, the Shoji, just tap your character after you've used the form. This thing gets 2 damage. The next one gets 2 damage, incrementally getting that damage across. I mean, you released that video on YouTube either today or yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that? Or I think it was literally talking about basically a version of this deck.
The commentary one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I think this character's got a lot of pressure when it comes to throws. I think he's like the best throw character, the second only to like Ayama.
Mount Lady can do it too, right? And
I think life having access to the 5 difficulty throws and then being so impactful to the game is like really, really tight.
Yeah. Well, and you have to think too, so things like tight-lipped, I'm not sure in the other aspects, but like having even like the incremental damage buffs on top of his ability with the reverse throw, you can squeeze in a way to guarantee that draw on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're not just a 7-hander, air quotes, because of your form, but the life symbol having incredible blocks on their 0 diffs means you can lose 0 vitality and pick up an amazing block. I mean, that's basically, we saw him pick up the tight lift, right?
Yeah.
But he built it, which I think is also a great use of the way to use the form. But like there's another one, like Recovery Girl's Kiss, 0 mid block, pay 1 vitality, pick up an observant student for a 1 low block, pay 0 vitality, pick up a release plus 2 high block. Like it's so good.
Yeah. I completely agree. And then across the other side of the table, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I'm pretty sure that this is the deck that Phil Birch is playing.
Fire, Tokoyami.
Fire Tokoyami. I want to say that inside of the inside of Chris Bromley's Discord server, he showed a list, and I didn't want to say anything about it on stream, but I think this is the list.
It might be. I mean, the thing is so I love Fire Tokoyami, and we've been seeing a lot of chaos today and on your stream in general. But Fire Tokoyami is the one that I play. I'm not playing obviously this exact list, but like because he's playing the Nitro Explosions, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
but
so fast.
Yeah. But just like it's the things like right here, like heroic lineage on the field, things like encouragement. I think even that's really good as well. Like getting you to play these longer chains.
Right.
You still get access to the Todoroki support, where like we have the frigid heat waves that we are playing. We are playing more ranged cards. Is Nitro also ranged? That'd be hype.
It is.
Oh,
it is also ranged. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I would say seeing the massive flash freeze is probably the weirdest one in my book. I just don't think that card's too incredibly strong.
It's just crazy fast, right? Like it's so
Yeah.
it's a 5 mid for 3, and that sucks. Until you look at Tokoyami and he accidentally gives it another +3 damage, so it's like a 6 mid for 6 on a 4 diff that says +1 to your next check, +3 to your next check. Like, what do you do? Like that's so crazy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What are you
Sorry,
writing?
I'm writing this upside down, so I'm channeling all my concentration into this.
It's okay. Be mad. Okay, I'm into it.
No, stop. No, stop. We're on stream. Quit it.
No, that's not bad. Talking about the dick. But...
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Oh, are
Well,
we sure?
so much for YouTube content.
Yeah, there it goes. Well, dang.
All right. Okay. So I mean, that's the thing though. Is I think for Shoji especially, like it's the throws pumping the damage, and you're kind of right. It's they go such a long way. If you're gonna pay 5 vitality to pick up an attack, you better be picking up something that also is gonna deal damage to your opponent.
Right.
And throws will do that.
Pay 5 to guarantee 4 is like not a terrible exchange rate, and then you get extra bonuses like tight-lipped, so that your moves will do extra damage, and then you get things like combo starters like the Ochako throw, right? Zero gravity.
Yeah,
lift.
the zero gravity lifts.
That will make your pay
Meteor Shower's
4
life.
to pick up meteor shower like an
start
ultra
to
powerful,
combo.
right?
Yeah,
Do you know how
it's
bad in
definitely
Ochako I want to pay 4 health to pick up my meteor shower. That's such a nutty ability. And then give it +2 damage for like no reason.
Yeah, would you like me to tell you that Go Beyond says turn your easy momentum into pick up meteor shower?
I mean, I guess we don't gotta talk about it that much, but yeah, man.
So I'm just saying, you have a way. Ooh, getting the tray sheet cape built as well is pretty good. We get to start reusing some pieces that are tight-lipped will flip for more damage. Reusing wall cling, that's a very good one.
Yeah, being able to reuse wall cling. All of these moves are going to be ungodly fast, so being able to use encouraging training partner is going to be pretty tight. Like getting that every turn and like quote unquote auto block one move, especially like it's going to say that like getting rid of being able to auto block your Dark Shadow Ruins is like it's such a high impact play at flip one foundation and then commit one asset to just block this move. Is like such a really good ability. And we're gonna see how well Tokoyami can kind of get through this life wall that Shoji is starting to build.
It's definitely interesting as well. So the Evil Gaze I'm seeing over in Bromley's hand for the Tokoyami list, also playing the one check from the plus ultra check or plus ultra packs, the Bakugo Deku thing. I don't know the name of that card. You're gonna have to mouse over it or something.
It is double front beatdown.
Very interesting to see that card here. I genuinely don't think the card was like incredibly strong, at least for a one check in the My Hero format. So it's I want to be proven wrong because like the ability on the card is strong, but playing a one check in the My Hero format to me is so volatile that I don't think it's like worth it, right?
Jacob Johnson, your UK national champion, is looking to play 2 of that card in every sideboard he possibly can.
Right. I mean, it's
single one.
It's very like without getting too much into the standard, it's very like big cyclone energy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or against Dark Chirito, you could even like make that kind of like these like resets of just like you hand trap. Hand traps are really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And with the actions not being incredibly powerful yet in My Hero, like that being basically a supplement until we get stronger action cards or just more cards in general, it might be worth playing again, in a character like Tokoyami, he did rip that off the mill.
Certainly did. I mean, if you're tired of losing a Recipro Burst, it's very easy to be like, I guess I'll just place this in my card pool and make your 17 damage, 17 speed move a 3 low for 5. All right, I'll block it. Okay, go ahead. Your turn.
And it's one of those things to where, like, I suppose if we're playing the fire symbol right, and we can't, and there's nothing else that we can use to like get there, I would understand.
Also, it's like it's accidentally arranged as well, right? So it like combos with our
okay, the range count.
And so like there is for sure a bunch of lines that we get to play.
It's kind of like I guess I definitely can see how Phil Burtz would be playing this deck, and I could see this being like kind of a brainchild between like him and like Jose and Phil kind of being the thing, because this deck has so many pieces, right? It's got a bunch of a little bit of everything, whether it's like an answer to this and an answer to that and an answer to this. Because in my head, I'm thinking, like you said, Recipro Burst, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, but you're already playing Capsule Evildoers for the Recipro Burst, right?
Right.
So is that really the reason we're playing that card, or are we afraid of things more along the lines of like tape swings, like getting these throws like a lot slow, or like resetting all that damage and stuff like that? But we're also playing things like heroic lineage, so like that incremental buff kind of can get neutralized. Yeah. I mean, so there's that, and then there's like, I mean, think of every deck in the game that's not like literally this Shoji, right? Like, what cards do you lose to? You lose to really big tape swings. You lose to really big Recipro Bursts. You lose to really big Midoriya attacks. You lose to really big Texas Smashes. You lose to really big home run comets. I'll just put this card in my card pool, put it back to 4, 3 damage. I'll take it. I'll reduce it by 1, another 1 with Tokoyami. Your 3 damage Texas Smash is actually a 2 damage move. I'll take it. You got me. It's also incredibly good for like even just like Jiro, right? Because Jiro gives XX on the strong stuff. So like giving rid of both of them in the same card is very strong. Whereas in most decks, they have to use things like resetting only one of them with like You're So Obvious, or things like the training partner that we're just looking at. So like resetting only the speed so that we can block this one thing.
And then turning around and like ice storming them on the block with their base speed move.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds
and then
great.
breaker 2ing them. So it's the other thing too, is not that we've seen it checked, or not that I've seen it at all right either, but I bet you if I go pull open like the sideboard for this deck, the thing is about the fire symbol having access to the Edict kit is that you also have fulfilled my duty as well. Like just having all of these different shutdown tools for all these different decks, I definitely see this being like a brainchild, again, like I said, for all these very strong players.
Because the foundation base for Tokoyami does not need to be aggressive. Like the only
aggro
that you need is
his zero diff, which you just play because you need spams.
Right.
So like it's already there, and you're already playing the action cards. I think the biggest concern I would see specifically in this list is there's a lot of blue. Yeah. And I had originally also played Evil Gaze in my Tokoyami list under fire, but it was so cloggy because the amount of mid attacks that are being played over like highs, because as we've seen, like highs are everywhere, meant that like you can't just, and it's also that it uses a card, right? And then it balanced it out because you use Tokoyami, you pick up a mid block, but if your opponent's not playing a mid and you have to specifically hold these other zones, like it got very hard and frustrating to use sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, like so Bromley's an incredibly good player and strong player, and TN Mage right now is really holding his own right now against this kind of onslaught. There's still 2 more orange cards that I would like consider as like offensive threats, like on this Tokoyami side. I'm not gonna count randomly you can just play the 1 check.
Yeah, I mean it's a 4 high for 6, right? And that only gets only bigger inside of Tokoyami. So currently on the board, it's going to be coming in as a 6 mid for 9 or 6 high for 9 at the end of a string. Yeah. So like even if you don't want to use it defensively, you could still use it as offensively as like,
an attack.
a neat move. And the other thing about this is Nitro Explosion. It was blocked.
Clears itself.
We'll just clear it. Enhance, remove it. If my move gets
Yeah.
powerful too, neat. I don't actually care about that. I've
You
just
just
like,
want it out of the park pool, yeah.
that's
Because I was actually just
wowzers.
saying, I was like, man, how does he pass another check here? And so doing that actually makes it to where playing that Ice Storm in his hand is a possibility on a 7. Like he can check a 5, tap 2, and also succeed it. It'd come in with at least 2 damage. Tokoyami would give it 1. No way. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I'm bad. I totally didn't realize this like can ready Tokoyami.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's very good.
So I think Bromley knows that he has been bested on defense. So he's obviously opting to play this Crow and Frog takedown now, readying up Tokoyami to use next turn. Or he's gonna fish for it now. I don't think he actually has any. Hold on.
We can't fish for it because it's once per turn.
Oh, it is once per turn. You're correct.
Yeah.
But there are 2 in the discard pile, and then after this, obviously the other 2 will get in there.
Yeah, we do only have 8 cards in our deck though, so we are going to be running out of moves soon.
Yeah, and we've already flipped once.
Have we cycled once?
Yeah.
No
There's
way.
13. Yeah, there's 13 cards.
Oh
in there.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I guess
he was
versus this
going.
deck we just block and
Frigid
try not
Frigid
to die.
Heatwave mills. Like the character itself mills. I mean, like add it up, right, dude? Discard pile's got 18. Main deck's got 6. 13 over here. I mean, this is a tight, pretty close to 50 deck.
I don't think we get to keep momentum. Actually, I think we actually have to put everything
Sack
back in
'em off.
the discard pile just so we don't mill ourselves out.
I think it's selective ones, right? Like, what do you want to see? What don't you want to see?
27 left in our deck totally. We're gonna have 17 when we're done, right? And that's not include. I mean, that's on block, right? And then draw my 7. I'll have 3 cards left in my deck. Like what?
Maybe 29 to 30, depending if he uses all 3 cards in his hand, right? Like we can get to 30.
So I get what to play 10 cards.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe that's enough.
We're at
if
10
I go
life.
find the foundation, I find the action. I've got 5
I
cards
mean,
I
it's
get
less
to play.
than that, right? It's less than that, right? Because if he wants to pick up any more Summon Dark Shadows,
Right.
all 4 are in the discard pile. Like, he has to mill 5 more cards for that. He actually can't even use the enhanced defense. So, like, readying with Crow and Frog is a whiff. Because he's going to mill exactly 10, flip the deck, and pick up nothing.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, it's actually an extremely rough spot right now. And Shoji was not pushed low enough to where he can't just pay 5 and pick up a throw. Like,
Got 16 gone already.
Yeah. So this is like the explosiveness of Tokoyami playing at 50. Actually, I think it's 55.
Yeah.
I think it's a 55 card deck.
okay.
And this is
close.
the exact
Yeah.
reason. Like, I think Tokoyami should be playing like 60. Like as crazy
just to
as it
see
is.
everything. No,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, Ruin is so key. Crow and Frog takedown being so strong. Like seeing the few key cards are so incredibly powerful. It just also makes me think like so in my fire list and what I'm seeing is like a really big differential factor is. I mean, I'm seeing the flash freeze. I'm seeing the ice storms. I'm seeing the frigid heat waves. I'm seeing the nitros. Like, I play Reciprocal Burst in my deck, and do you just not think that that's better than what some of these other options might be? I know it's not ranged and it doesn't fit for that package, but like, I mean, getting momentum with that kind of aggression, like you can just get there.
So on a previous video, you and Chris, who's playing Tokoyami, were talking about the My Hero format being quote unquote bland, and this is where like I get to slightly disagree with you because I think that you can play Tokoyami with the kick package and feel great under fire, right? I think some
I
symbols
agree.
feel really really good and diverse. I think the issue is not every symbol feels that way.
No,
and
no,
eventually
and
set 2, set 3, hopefully we will.
It wasn't so much that I wanted bland to be the right word anyway. It was more so like when I said it, I said boring. Boring is the wrong word too.
Right.
It was more so of just that like there's only so many cards, right? And within so many cards, you only get to play one symbol at a time. So when you're playing that specific symbol, there are only so many iterations or factorials of that you can do with cards. And that's more what it came from.
Yeah.
I agree with you that like the fire symbol feels incredibly good. Ida's kit is so good. Tokoyami's kit is so good. Bakugo has enough card support from the rival deck that it's large enough for you to get things going, right?
Right.
And Shoto Todoroki is really rising in prevalence across the entire board, not just his character, but his kit as well. So like when all of your characters' card supports feel good to play, yeah, the symbol feels incredibly good, and you diverse because you can mix it up and throw some different like curveballs in there. But if you look at a symbol like what's a really good example? I will use order as an example actually right now.
Okay.
Because in order you really only have like 2 real options, right? Because order does not play Moneta cards very well at all, right?
Yeah.
So you have to exclude an entire character's kit in your card supply when it comes to attacks. Foundations are generic; they can be used for anything, right? But like when it comes to attacks, you have the Sero support, which are some throws and charge stuff while also committing cards. You have the Denki support, which is kind of momentum-based stuff and committing cards. And you have the Ida stuff, which is like kicks, basically, and committing stuff and speed. Wow, there you go. Shoji taking game 1.
Easy. What a baby game.
I think that was a very cool game to watch, though.
I completely agree. I
Like
think
Bromley went and popped off. Shoji showed us an incredible defense for the life symbol. And now we get to see Tokoyami go first. So
yeah. The big thing that like I wanted to bring up, right, is like I was using your words against you, but I know that like that's not quite exactly what you meant.
Yeah,
but I don't think that my hero is bland. I think it's only bland if you're like trying to make it bland.
No, that's fair.
I think there's a lot of interactions that you get to play with a lot of these really cool cards. And we're just not necessarily seeing it because people are playing and building very safe decks, right? Like you see these top decks doing exceptionally well, and they just get net decked, and then nobody's really pushing the envelope of like how far can I flex these cards. And then we see decks like this Shoji that like isn't really on the radar, right? And we get to see
throw stuff, and
what happens.
Throws are successful in the history of universes as a whole. So I think it's also too. I think exactly like what you're kind of leading into is actually kind of my rebuttal against what Bromley had said earlier when we were talking. Is that like there hits a point when the meta is solved, right?
Right.
And I think that is where I kind of disagree, right? I don't even for how small and restrictive MHA is right now, I don't think it's solved. Because as you incrementally come out with like these plus ultra packs and like these new things come up and the DLC packs come out and we get a little bit more support, you have these people that are playing Kirishima who they believe to be the strongest character, and so we start teching and building our decks around this character existing. And then because you choose to put in those tech pieces, it means you're maybe neglecting these other pieces that allow other characters to shine through. Like that's how the game's always kind of existed.
Right.
And like if you choose to play one card, something has to go. And if you do choose to play both, then at what degree do you play both? And then how does your consistency play a factor into it, right? So there's so many moving pieces just in the game in general that something is always giving and taking.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
A little awkward starting hand too for Tokoyami here.
Man, he is calling for backup though. He needs the help. As soon as he decides to pop off for every attack that he plays, he's gonna have +1 hand size. So the turn that he decides to go off, he's gonna be a 10 hand size minimum. Not to mention a double latent skill. He's gonna find every attack in his deck if he wants it.
Yeah. That's part of what I like about it. Latent skill's really good, like calling for backup, like you said, like being able to incrementally draw these cards while you're looking for them. And double latent skill, triple calling for. Oh my gosh, like. And then we drew a bunch of cards that we don't want to discard.
No damage pump though, which is like the big issue, right?
Yeah. So
Ooh,
leading with a frigid.
Probably should have drawn a big one on that calling for backup, huh? Discard that and that. Ooh, love that play. Probably gonna put exactly 6 into our discard pile.
4, 5, 6. It is exactly 6 because of that play.
6 in the discard pile so we can get to draw a 2. Wow, what a heads up play! Insane.
Drew 4 on this one attack.
And then we can lane skill again, discard two more foundations, 2 more cards we don't care about.
I mean, it might even not even just be discarding 2 foundations, right? Like, I mean, how much damage are we pushing through this turn? Like, realistically, right? Like the crow and frogs are free, obviously. One of the attacks in our hands is defensive, and the nitros are very kind of the awkward one. Oh my gosh! Okay, summon Dark Shadows. Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. Glad you've been recruited.
We got all the Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the weirdest part, right? Is like, oh my gosh, and the other 2 are in the discard pile. All 4 summon Dark Shadows have been found. We only have 16 cards left in deck. So he's
the draw discard. I don't think I love it. If we're gonna keep it a buck, I feel like yes, it gives him a ton of fodder for like discarding the card, and then he passed.
Wow, what a Bromley!
He hit the poke and passed. I think we could have played the Stronger in Darkness out of our hand, right?
Yes.
But he says I'm down for the high block.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Is how many other high blocks are in his hand?
How fucking terrifying is that against Tokoyami? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many cards? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in hand, and he played 1 attack and passed.
Here's the most weird part about it, right? I think if I was Shoji in that situation, like how scared am I? But am I scared? Like he just paid 0 vitality to pick him an extra card, like, and then he gets to build. Tokoyami didn't build, or sorry, yeah, Tokoyami didn't build. Tokoyami doesn't get to review and draw more. I think that was actually just the play so we can pick up more Summon Dark Shadows and have 3 for this turn.
I mean, it doesn't feel terrible, right? Like we get to quote unquote jam 3 of these.
He gets to enhance Summon Dark Shadow on 3 attacks this turn. Which, if you look at the current line, without using latent skill, it's Ruin, Nitro, and a Takedown, and we have another Nitro or whatever order you want to do it in, right?
Right.
The Ruin's gonna get 1/1, and it's stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Because
the next thing, which I'd probably put the Nitro next, is gonna get 2/2.
You think Nitro and not Frog Lash are ready up one of our cool cards, or do you think we save it for next turn?
I think he does so hold on. So I think so if depending on exactly how many cards we play, right? There's 8 cards left in deck. If you play the Nitro, you have 7 cards left in deck. If you play oh man, it's 1 short actually. Man, I was really thinking there was a play where you get to pass your turn with 6 cards left in deck, but you use the takedown to ready Tokoyami again, and then that way you have another one already ready to go for the rest of your onslaught next turn.
Interesting.
So the way I think Bromley is really kind of playing this, and like you can kind of see, so he is going for that line. I think though this one is going to leave exactly 5 cards left in the deck, which means that specific play won't work out the best. But if you had chose to play the frog takedown,
exactly 5,
it will leave 5. Right? He's got 7. If he uses 1 and checks to play the Summon Dark Shadow, here it goes to 6. And if he plays the Crow and Frog, he goes to 5. And he uses Crow and Frog to ready Tokoyami, right? Well, then he can't Tokoyami enhance as the first enhance going into Shoji's turn, right?
Right.
The other option is he actually just doesn't.
He plays this, gives it 2 damage if it's blocked.
That'll do it.
Shuffles back in.
That fixes the turn. That fixes exactly what I was talking about. Yep. So here we go. So he's gonna check first, because then he can choose to either kind of shove in more attacks if that's stuff he wants to draw into, or.
+3 gives another 2/2. This is 7 high for 6 if he wants it.
7 high for 6.
So then it's about if it deals, because it deals, or no, it's if it's
blocked. If blocked. 4, 5, 6. Now we just go for it, right? We can give this thing powerful if we want? ? And then this thing, we clear this to give it powerful, and then respond and steal a momentum, right?
Yeah, because they're both in.
Oh, he chooses not to. No, it's not. I mean, it's a response, right? You can just choose not to do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that we didn't trigger to get the momentum. Maybe he's counting his deck a little better.
It actually. So here in my scenario now, I actually think he just plays enough cards or gets to it to where he flips his deck, right? And he flips the deck during the attack turn so that the 2 Summon Dark Shadows in the card pool hit the discard pile so that he doesn't have to worry about removing them from the cycle.
Right.
That's now the new play, I'm thinking. So he latent skills to... There we go. So that's how you do it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you keep the Crow and Frog, though. Another Nitro. Wow. Okay, so he can still get there.
Yeah, these lines are going absolutely crazy for me. These are such big brain lines.
So, but like that's the new line, right? Because he can do it again, and on the next attack, he can Nitro Ignition to remove it from the card pool again and keep the card pool small. Like he can play enough cards and still play the Crow and Frog takedown to ready Tokoyami.
Yeah, but this is. I just don't know. Man, this just isn't very impactful, right?
This is really cool. No. So that,
So 4, 5, 6.
No.
Checks a 6. I mean, he crushed it. Gets +3/+3.
I think it's impactful now because this is gonna get 3/3 and
Please
the Crow and
respond.
Frog is
I'm
gonna get.
begging you to respond and get your momentum.
He
So
might
you can
have
make
to make the cards go right, or
No,
maybe not.
Begging.
I think he's counting. I think he knows the last card's a foundation and he just wants to check it.
It is a self-assured, which is like not fantastic, but
Checks a 5, 6, 7, 8.
if we had
Man,
been
still getting blocked.
responding and getting this momentum, this might actually be lethal, right? Because it'd be 5,
Because you give it powerful, you'd have
6,
the 1, 2,
7,
3,
8,
you'd have
9,
3 momentum.
10, 11, 14, 15. Yeah, it'd be actually 15 damage if we had been responding and gotten our momentum for removing these. It would be lethal.
So now he's calculating is it lethal, but I think you still have to commit on this play because you have to ready Tokoyami for defense.
No, I don't know if this is the last game, actually. I've got HTL Seed and Kyle Wright, big chillin' in the wings, big waiting. So I don't actually know.
All right, so I know I was kind of like really hype on like explaining the turn, but I think at the end of it, yeah, it wasn't that impactful, right? Like Shoji's still at 14.
Yeah.
Tokoyami's pretty tapped on resources. We've got only mid blocks.
Right.
Unless
Tongue smack on a 4. Check.
And he has cycled.
Shoji for
Yeah, he
but-
cycled 2 ruins, which feels terrible.
and then we're gonna give it 2 for
Yeah, I think he actually had game if he had remembered to respond and get momentum.
I think you're right. I think, and we can kind of talk about it after like the match is over. But I mean, like for how hyped that turn was, and because I think the point at that is to cycle and let the summon Dark Shadows like the end result happened, right? And the Crow and Frog takedown was only on a 6. No, it's on a 7. I guess it was also the risk if you check. You have to. It's a check a 5, and you said it was a self-assured, so he actually would have failed it.
Yeah. Okay.
So if it was a 5 check, it's a
Well,
different story.
It would have.
Oh, I guess, but the
been
momentum
totally
it would have been different
because of momentum and blah,
Yeah,
yada,
you're right,
yada,
you're
yada,
right.
blah blah blah.
That's fair. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
In one of the many multiverses that exist, that that was a play that happened. The good news is
So-
we as Shoji can't kill Tokoyami, so he's gonna get one more shot at it.
He can't? Has he already Shoji form? I gotta
Mhm.
think. 1, 2. Yeah, we did.
Also, we're
Shoji
committed, so
form.
we could not Shoji form. The max we could get is 5, 6 damage, putting us to 2, and then losing a block, I guess.
Stop it.
Sorry. I'm done.
So, so we're going to deadlock.
Yeah.
Now it's just about how many attacks are left, right?
Um,
We're gonna review this
we
evil
review the
gaze,
evil
right?
gaze because we gotta find moves, dude. Like plus 2 speed
Yeah.
is rad, but
And popping 1 foundation right now doesn't matter either.
I mean, getting rid of a wall cling could matter.
What's the gas? I
He's
gotta wait for
got
stream delay.
plenty.
He's
4
got draw.
attacks in hand. Oh well, I mean we don't have draw
And the
because we
chrome
don't have
draw.
enough attacks. We've only got 2 ranges.
I mean,
in our
he's-
discard pile, 3 ranges in our discard pile. But we've got Tokoyami. which discards top 5. Like if we just like jam 3 attacks, 3 range moves, then we'll find them, right?
That's kind of the. I guess that's kind of. He also got latent. He can like get rid of the crappy one, right?
Oh man, discard top 5 would have been freaking sick there. We find 1, so we're down to 4.
I mean, he can also just play the orange cards, right?
Yeah.
Is the Ice Storm play the one?
Ice Storm is going to be our very last move because it gets powerful, right? We've got 2 momentum, and so it's going to be a 10 damage move. And if we are, oh my god, that's a $120 hand. It certainly is. If we get them low enough and enough cards in the card pool, because we are at deadlock, it's going to get +2 speed, can't be reduced, and so on and so forth.
I think it's just going to be rough, right? We have to play this entire chain with only 1 Summon Dark Shadow. Ooh, uh-oh. Only had 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
No. Those were some pretty sick draws, though.
It was, I mean, the definition of the good ones.
Wow.
And we get there.
We're nuts.
He said, wow, we're nuts.
So +4 to that thing's damage.
Yeah, so this is currently a 5 high for 8. That's phenomenal. That's really, really good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, now he's at 6. I mean, it's a little scuffed now.
Yeah, I mean, he drew his 2 already. Gets to play a Nitro on a 5 without even using the plus to my check, right? And then we can play, and this is another card in the card pool in order to try and to get us through. So from here we play Nitro into the wow, I don't think this is the play that I would do.
This can't be blocked by attacks.
I would go Nitro into the action into whatever, but he's determined to play Nitro because it's faster, right? It's faster on later in the turn. So I guess it's before 5.
The thing is,
6.
so what? Two of these have to stick.
So
So we powerfuled it here. He has the 1 speed. He's got a 1 low block though. Like, I mean, Shoji's still sitting pretty. Like two of the other attacks in Bromley's hand have to stick, and
he said +2 speed.
I still think it's. I think it's still blocked.
Two?
I don't think Shoji blocks 2 attacks this turn
So-
anyway. So
The thing here is he's at deadlock, right? So we could have given this thing an extra +2 speed, and then he
Pop
says,
the foundation.
Well, he just pay 2, give it 2 more speed, right?
Let's go with.
wait, what? Both?
Yeah. Well, it gets +2 speed from Ice Storm because we're at deadlock. This deck gets 2 speed. Speed can't be reduced, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
So
10,
did we
11
just not-
foundation.
Did we
Bromley
just not
didn't
use
realize
it?
that we were in deadlock, and so we just didn't use it.
But yeah, so and that's the thing now is like, yeah, he's gonna pass the next check.
5,
If-
6, 7, 8. It passed on an 8. Gets no
With no
damage,
damage.
and we're gonna cycle. Maybe should
Cycle
have drawn our
again.
2 cards, but he just knew that he didn't have it.
So yeah, and I think you can't pass another attack, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like Shoji blocked exactly what it needed to be because we didn't use Deadlock Enhance.
We didn't use Deadlock Enhance, and we didn't use the Evil Gaze in our hand, right? Like, there's no reason. Like, I don't know why we didn't do the Evil Gaze.
I think the problem was that he had already enhanced the Summon Dark Shadow, and if he enhances Evil Gaze, it absorbs the +3 of the check.
You're absolutely right, and that would have
So
only been 10 damage. We missed it by 4. Rough.
So I
Rough.
think he knows that he's like hella misplayed the line, and because of that, Shoji will live, and
Yeah.
Bromley will go on defense with only 2 cards ready. So like I think he knows that he made quite a few misplays, whether it be Deadlock and
I
also not using the
agree.
Gable.
I
So-
agree. I mean, the good news is we do have the I mean, if Bromley can figure out, just kidding, Bromley's super dead. If Bromley can figure out from the massive flash freeze, like it has deadlock, we do get to pass a move. So like late in my chain, I get to just like auto pass a check. But
Yeah, with the Deadlock, yeah.
as Shoji, yeah, we
Yep,
pay
there it
4,
is.
we pick up a move, and that's
Scoop
yeah.
it up, boy.
Yeah, that's a 1,000. That's 1,000 attacks.